Mabuhay, this is Bob from Love Beyond the Sea. Today I want to talk about, quiet dumping. Is your Filipina quiet dumping you? And this will be from a short article from Psychology Today by a PhD named Mark Travers. Now, this is important to talk about because, this can happen with foreigners and Filipinas in a very long distance relationship, and they might not notice the signs. So, the key points from this will be quiet dumping means staying in a relationship without active engagement. Quiet dumping involves withdrawal as opposed to full blown conflict. And gratitude is important for the successful maintenance of intimate bonds. Now, many people come to therapy, this man says, when they sense their partner is progressively detaching from them. That can happen to you if you're, in a long distance relationship with a woman from another country. They may say, for example, I don't feel desired by my partner anymore. There's hardly any affection left in our relationship, or my partner doesn't pay attention to me or make an effort to make me feel seen, heard, or understood. Have they checked out for good? Or my partner's been so closed off lately, I feel so distant from them. And things like in a relationship with a Filipina, if you feel like, there's no lack of, the spark is gone. Maybe initially you were talking a lot and there was a lot to talk about. And maybe she was always on time and you were on time. And all of a sudden now she's not on time and she's not very talkative, or she seems distracted while she's talking to you, or she doesn't suggest when she wants to talk again, or she gets harder to contact, like on instant message or something, then, yes, she may be trying to create some distance quietly without having to just come right out and tell you that it's not going to work. So he continues here, if you sense an unsettling erosion of the emotional connection and closeness in a relationship may indicate your partner is quiet dumping or quiet quitting your relationship. And this can manifest in various ways, making it sometimes challenging to identify. But here are his 5 telltale signs. 1, decreased emotional availability. This can take the form of reduced responsiveness to the emotional needs and cues of one's partner, leaving the partner feeling unheard, disconnected, upset, and or confused. So if you've been talking and something isn't what it used to be, and then you sense a decreased emotional availability, then they are likely quiet dumping you. 2, disengagement from conflict resolution. That makes sense, because withdrawing from confrontations, they say, or avoiding engaging in difficult but meaningful discussions contributes to a growing divide in the relationship. So if at first you thought, like, if we had some misunderstandings, we got it cleared up, because you recognize that with the woman who English is not maybe her first language, for sure, but she might speak it fairly well, but not enough to avoid some misunderstandings, and you get those things worked out and you laugh about it. But as time goes by, there's a decreased effort to laugh it off or to work it out. Maybe she's just stopped asking you for clarification for something, and you just feel like they don't think the relationship is worth arguing about. That would be a sign that they would be quiet dumping you. 3, decreased intimacy and affection. Of course, this one is more easy to tell if you were, there personally together, versus an online relationship where usually you have to build up, anywhere from 3 to 4 months to a couple years. Some people take before going out and meeting somebody face to face. And so you can only have so much intimacy, and certainly none physically, from that kind of distance. But what he describes number 3 as is a decline in displays of affection, intimate moments, and shared experiences. This leads to a sense of emotional and physical distance between partners. A fourth way of quiet dumping in a relationship would be lack of effort in relationship maintenance. Reduced willingness to invest time, energy, and thoughtfulness into nurturing the connection leads to relationship erosion. And that's why, these are kind of hard, long distance ones, because you're not there. You're there on a computer screen, and many people, like myself, spoke to our Filipina for hours a day. With me, it probably averaged out to, I don't know, hour and a half in the morning and then 2.5 before going to bed. So about 4 hours a day. That's really not uncommon. I've heard a lot of people say that. And then you can talk even more on the weekends if you really commit yourself to it. And so you're doing everything you can to be ready, to be on time, to have energy, to not be scheduling a bunch of other things like, if they say, oh, I forgot to tell you, I'm taking this trip or something, and I won't be able to talk to you for a week, and that starts happening, and they didn't even give you a warning about it, that could be a sign of quiet dumping, any lack of effort that it seems is being put into the maintenance of that relationship. So I'll focus number 5 here real quick. Increased focus on selfish pursuits. Prioritizing personal goals, hobbies, and interests often goes hand in hand with the isolation and disconnection that is growing in the relationship. Increased focus on selfish pursuits. So if you're a guy who's been talking to Filipina for, enough time to feel like you've got something started, maybe it's a few months, maybe it's more, leave a comment here if you've had any event that makes you wonder, are they giving up? Are they quiet dumping me? Are they going to let me figure it out? Do they want me to figure it out? They just don't want to say anything. And, because this often happens if your gut is telling you that they might be drawing away, probably, you're not going to be able to change that because they're thousands of miles away. You may never find out the reason for it. And, if you can't figure one out, don't kill yourself trying to guess what it might be. Sometimes a woman from the Philippines will just, the novelty of it wears off, and maybe they get other people involved. Maybe they were never serious about it from the start, and you're assuming that they were. Well, it could be a lot of things, but it's definitely something to keep an eye on. In my relationship with my wife, we got married quickly. Yes, only 54 days, but we had a lot of talking, and we almost didn't have enough time for this to happen. But believe me, if I had made plans to go over there and see her like on day, whatever it was, 34 or 35, and she wasn't answering, or she didn't seem like the same person that she was before. Maybe she was really cheerful and then was kind of becoming, short-tempered. If I felt anything was up, my gut was telling me something was bad, I wouldn't have gone down there. But with us, it was, well, yes, this is quick, but we want to get married and talk to the parents. You talk to the family, so nothing is being hidden. Everything is out in the open. We just kept our foot on the gas and went to the next step and the next step to meet and to get married and to get ready everything that we need to get ready for a spousal visa, because I had already started that before I even went to meet her, because I knew we were going to get married. So this quiet dumping did not happen with us. It has happened to other people. I've read their comments. Leave a comment on this if you will, and subscribe to Love Me on the Sea. I make videos about what I've learned in my 8+ years of marriage to a woman from the Philippines. I didn't have much dating experience at all before getting into this, so I've had to learn so much, and I try to share it here with, what have I got, 1,450 videos and counting. I've got hundreds more that I've got listed to make, and I'm going to be rolling out more than usual here. We just got back from a trip to Branson, Missouri, and I'd like to get the channel going. If you're interested in a serious relationship leading to marriage with a Filipina, then I think a good place to subscribe would be here at Love Beyond the Sea.